This cold weather is really got me messed up. I screwed up today. I laid down around 3:30, 4 o'clock p.m. I was just going to take a short nap. Well, that short nap turned into about 6 hours. My face looks red in that. Let me turn this thing off. I got my grow lights on over here, and there it goes. Maybe my face won't look so. And I think there's some clothes drying over there. I can hear them. I'm in my laundry room where I got my plants and stuff. You know what? Let me show you something here. I haven't been able to get no rubber plants cutting started. And look at this. See that little red sprout right there? That it started. So I put it in the pot, and then the second one, I was getting ready to pull it up because I didn't think it was going to make it. And I don't know if you can see that little red sprout down there at the bottom of that thing. And it started. So, how about that? Anyway, so now it's time to go to bed. I can't sleep. So I don't know how long it'll be before I go to bed, but this winter thing, man, is getting hold of me. I need to make another video anyway. On that last video, I was talking about my favorite sister-in-laws. Now, I loved all of my sister-in-laws. And I made a mistake. I misspoke. And knowing full well that my youngest sister-in-law watches my videos, and I went in there and I said my favorite two sister-in-laws was Gay and Reba. Actually, now this is probably going to sound stupid, like I'm trying to cover my tracks or my butt or something, but my favorite sister-in-law is my youngest sister-in-law, and she watches my videos. But I just misspoke. Actually, Gay's on the bottom. I had 4 sister-in-laws. Well, Gay was the oldest. Let's see, and Reba was next to Gay, and Chloe was next to Reba, and Annie was the youngest, and she was on the bottom. But Annie, she's more like, I don't look at her as a sister-in-law. I look at her as an adopted daughter. Does that make sense? She spent a lot of time with me and my wife. She was just special. Matter of fact, she must have, back in the day, she must have thought I was pretty daggone special, because I think we was coming back from when me and my wife got married, and I can't remember whether she was there, but anyway, I remember her saying, and she's probably Crimson. She said, I don't know if she said, I hope I can find, or I wish I could find and marry a man just like you. I have to remind her of that every once in a while. But yeah, she's my special baby. And she's an old lady now. Dadgum. Let's see. When I was, let's see, in '64, she was about 13 or 14. So that means 74, 84, 94, 2004, 2014. That was over 50 years ago, so she would be, wow, surely she's not 70 yet. Is she 70? Golly, Ned. Annabelle. Her name's actually Anna Laura Shields. Then it was Anna Laura Cordell. Then she divorced Waylon Cordell, and that was probably the best. That guy was a piece of work. Yeah, Waylon. And then after she was divorced, she married Jim Dawson, and he was a Vietnam War vet. And then Jim had a friend. Oh my God, his name was Scott Robertson. But anyway, she wound up divorcing Jim. And then at some point she married Scott. But I think there was somebody else in there in the mix too between some of them. I'm not sure. I think she's been married, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. I know she's been married 4 times. And she's got 2 children. And I don't know how many grandchildren she's got, maybe 3 or 4. I don't know. But she was my special one, you know. I always loved her. And you know, a thing happened. I don't, people say, oh, you shouldn't talk about stuff like that, but she told me she appreciated something, because I know she had one brother-in-law that hit on her. In other words, making advances towards her. I know she had one that done that. And I'm thinking there was another one, and I ain't gonna mention no names because I don't know it to be a fact, but that's what I've been told. And I know about the first one because she come home telling about that, and she was just a teenager then. But she told me, said she really appreciated it. I never tried nothing like that. So, I mean, crap, that would have been like hitting on my daughter, you know. She just seems like a daughter to me. And she really, I've only got 2 sister-in-laws left. And that's Gay, the oldest one, and Annie, the youngest one. I love Gay, but we had some major differences about some stuff. Matter of fact, I was so upset at Gay one time, I called her up and her daughter Donna answered the phone. And I said, well, I ain't gonna be bothering y'all no more, but you tell your mama when you see her that her shadow her shadow better not ever darken my door again. I got over it, but basically what it was, my wife was going through a spell with clinical depression. I mean, it was bad. And there was a conflict going on between Gay and her, and I think Reba might have been involved in it. Chloe was involved in it, and I did not want them to try to get my wife mixed up in that scrap. And dadgone if Gay didn't call up and start talking to my wife about that. And that just really upset her then, and I was so upset because she was having a hard time. And that went on for about a year. But Gay divorced her first husband, and she should have did it years before that, but she divorced him. And then she got married again to this guy. His name was Royce, and I become very good friends with Royce. Royce was a EMT. At that time when he passed away, he was doing taking care of some older person or something, and he had a certain amount of hours every day. He went over, and then somebody else took over and everything. And he come home from work one day, and he sat down in the recliner and up and died. I love Royce. And at that time, Ma, my mother-in-law, she was still living, and Gay and Royce was helping take care of her. Well, they were taking care of her. And I thought I heard, that was a cat. He just come home and died. And Gay was so upset then, she didn't know if she could help take care of Ma by herself and everything. But she did. And it wasn't long after that, Ma had died. And Gay was going around, she was doing this caretaking kind of stuff, like a nurse assistant or something, going around checking on older people every day and stuff like that. And I think she'd known this man a long time. He's about her age, and she's 87, and she married this man. His name was Fred. Fred was, I like Fred all right, but I'm not like close to him or anything. But she's still with Fred now, and Fred owns a lot of property and everything, and she had to sign some kind of like a prenup or something, I don't know, but she has the right to live in the house that they're living in now. She can live there till she dies if he happens to pass away, and Fred has had a heart attack. I don't think Gay's got too many health issues, but it's kind of weird. There was 4 girls in that and 3 boys. And the first one to die was let's see. First one to die was Reba. Then the next one to die, no, wait a minute. The first one to die was Chloe. Chloe died. Then Reba died. And that was all the girls, but another Steve died. One of the younger ones. He was the youngest. No, he was next to the youngest. And Turk died, or Willard. And y'all heard me talk about Willard. He was an alcoholic. He worked for me a while and all that stuff. I had to fire him. But out of the 7 kids, it's only Gay and Annie left. They don't get along. But actually, the only in-law family, and I'm just talking about our brother-in-laws and sister-in-laws. The only family I got left in my in-laws, I feel like, is Annie. And at one point, she was going to move down here. And for a while there, I thought she was really going to do it, but my daughter kept thinking, she's not going to leave them grandbabies of hers up there. And she was right. She's still up there in North Carolina. But I just love her. I just love her. And I think at some point I made the statement. This was after my wife passed away. I made the statement: if I was ever going to get married again, it would be to Annie if she wasn't attached. But she's attached. That's a long story on that. But I couldn't have done that anyway because she's like a daughter, and she still feels like a daughter to me. But just Annie's my favorite sister-in-law. She is the favorite, period, brother and sister-in-laws that I had. She was the favorite over all of them. All right, Dauber, you want to go out? Hold on a minute, I gotta let my Dauber out. He wants to go out. Come on, Dauber. Come on. There you go. But she's the that's weird though, because there was one time my wife and I, we were living in Hickory, North Carolina, and my nephew-in-law, it was during the summer, and he was spending some time with us, and Annie was there, and we were overcrowded. The house, I had my 2 kids and all that stuff, and there was my wife. It was me, my wife, Annie, and Charlie, and my 2 babies. 7 people. We really didn't have the room for it, so we found another place, and we moved in, and we wasn't there maybe a couple of days. And I was outside, I was doing something, and I had Charlie, my nephew, to kind of crawl under the house there a little bit and get this, I forget what it was. And he kept messing up and getting the wrong thing, and I think I called him a little fool. I think I did. I called him something, and that didn't sit well with Annie, and we got back in the house, and we was arguing. She was arguing with me, and I was arguing with her, and she picked up one of them old green glass Coca-Cola bottles and threw that at me. If it had hit me, it went past my head. If it had hit me, it would have killed me. I mean, I could almost feel the breeze off of that thing. Oh my goodness. Oh Lord. And was I at her wedding? No, wait a minute. They was married. I don't know what. I got drunk as an old coot at something. There was something, I forget what it was. Got drunk. This was in Charlotte, North Carolina. And my wife and the two kids, we were living at a place called Roberta Mills. That was just outside of Charlotte. Good Lord, she threw that bottle, man. I mean, it did. And I've got a lot of good memories of that girl. And there for a short time, her husband, Roy Lynn Davis, he was a paper hanger. In other words, he did wall coverings and stuff. And they got a lot of commercial jobs, and I was helping him on commercial jobs. And the money was great. The money was great, and I forget just what happened to that company. But, and I like her husband's name was Lynn, Roy Lynn Davis. Oh my gosh. One time, we went to the beach. We took I don't know if it was a weekend trip or what, I can't remember, but we was at this beach, and I think it was in Virginia. And we had a big motel room, and they had a double bed, we had a double bed, and I think there was even beds in there for the two kids. And Annie and Lynn had two kids too, so but we just had a good time, and one of them bought a bag of roasted peanuts, and of course we was eating the peanuts and stuff, and we did leave a mess in the room. There's peanut shells everywhere. And when we got back home, a couple of weeks later, we got a letter from a lady that owned the motel, and she raked us over the coals that we didn't bother to clean up our mess and all that stuff. And then my wife sent her a letter back and said, well, if we was going to have to clean up the room before we left, you should have told us, and we could have brought a broom to where we could clean them up with. Oh my gosh, that was at the beach. Oh dear. Oh, I got some good memories of my in-law, especially Annie, especially her. She's my baby. Damn, I can't believe she's that old. Did I say damn? I think I did. Can't believe She must be around 70. No, I'm not 10 years older than her. She might be 72. I hadn't talked to her lately. I used to talk to her regular, but I on Facebook, I have a Facebook thing, and we did a face-to-face thing and everything. But she's not gonna move down here. She's got this property over there. I don't own that property of mine anymore. She owns it. I sold it to her. Well, I didn't sell it to her. I give it to her, and I owed some taxes on it, and she paid the taxes, and for that, she owned that property, and I don't know what she's gonna do to it. In hindsight, I wish I'd have kept the property. You know, that's where Donovan, when Donovan was born, we was living on that property, and he spent his whole life up there up till about up till he was about 24, 25. And Jennifer, when we first bought that property, Jennifer was about 11 or 12, and Bud was about 10, something like that. Anyway, I should have kept the taxes paid, but once it got vandalized and burnt down, I didn't have nothing to go back to. Anyway, that's memories of Annie and Lynn and Grady and Wendy. Grady's the son, Wendy's her daughter. I wish that thing quit dinging. I got my other hearing aid this year laying in my bedroom, and this thing keeps reminding me it's trying to connect and it can't connect. But she's about the only in-law I've got left. And thank goodness. Yeah, she used to, back when my wife and I had first got married, and I was moved to Bryson City, and we was working in there, and we had this little hole in the wall. That's what she called it. It was a low-end apartment. It was only, I think we paid $10 a week for that apartment, and that included all the utilities and everything. And her cousin, Brenda Gale, used to come over there and spend, sometimes on the weekend, and spend the weekend with us and stuff. And I ain't seen Brenda Gale in, golly, Ned. Let's see, she's part of my in-law family, so she would be, that's her cousin, so what kind of an in-law would she be to me? But she lives in Atlanta, Georgia. Atlanta, Georgia. Anyway, that's my video for today. I wasn't gonna make one for today, but I can't sleep, so I thought, what the hey, I'll start talking a little bit about some of the better times in my life. And actually, folks, I have to say the best parts of my life so far has been marrying my wife and having that in-law family. And I sure miss all of them that's passed on, man. That was, man. You know, when I got married, I didn't see my family again for about, I think it was 7 years. And when we first took a trip to Florida to see my mother and my brothers, and my sister, we and my sister next to me was living here in Ocala, and she worked at a place called the Jade Lounge. She was a barmaid, and that Jade Lounge it's right down the road from here. It's with I can go by it with my scooter. But the owner of the Jade Lounge died about 6 or 7 months ago, and they closed it when he died. But I think it's opened up again, a new owner. But my sister were and when we was on that trip, we didn't have any kids yet. And my wife was pregnant with Jennifer, and we went in there. We went in that, I call it the bar. We went in the Jade Lounge to see my sister, and and that's the only time I ever went in that place. I was up till he died. I was threatening just to go in there and see if I could get in there with my scooter and have a cold beer. But that was in it was early 1970, because Jennifer was born on December of 70. But when we went in that bar, my wife was pregnant. And that's the only bar my wife ever went into. But that was where Snooky worked, and that was my sister. She was the one born in 42. I was born in 41. Not quite a year apart. But yeah, I got a lot of good memories of my in-law family. I got another story about my in-law family, but I'll save that for another. Well, I got 2 or 3 stories about my in-law family. My goodness, the memories come rolling back. Anyway, guys, that's my story today. And I'm sticking to it and all that stuff. And boy, it has been cold. It was 28 degrees this morning. I hope I had a lot of stuff covered out there. Of course, this stuff in here is all doing good, and I'll kind of show you. I got some of my pothos in here. I got that. Got my big plant here. Got stuff over there. I still got some stuff I want to bring in, but all the stuff that I knew would take a hit if it froze, I've got in here. Anyhow, guys, that's my story. I'm sticking to it. I love you. And please, like, if you want to push one of the buttons, push the thumbs up. If you don't want to push the thumbs up, then don't push nothing. Oh my goodness. Anyhow, I've got one video up that's got 100%, but that's one of my live streams. Yes, sir. All right, I'm out of here. I'll see you. GoPro, stop recording.